Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. The Israelites have been scattered across the four corners of the earth, as prophesied in Deuteronomy, the 20th chapter. Here in Israel United in Christ, we need your help to recover the remnant of our people, teach them the gospel. Please help us, support us, and join or donate to the Booster Club today. Shalom.
The Lord sent us out here today to restore our people from the decayed state that we're in. When you look at your communities, do you see robbery, you understand, murder, thefts? You see all this stuff in your community, right? Self-hatred. All right, all that's because we've been stripped of our true heritage. So read that.
Luke chapter 14, verse 23.
Bring it up.
And the Lord said unto thee, the servant, go out into the highways and hedges, and compel them to come in, that my house may be fulfilled.
So the Lord said unto his servants, he said, go out into the highways and hedges. You understand? The highways and hedges is where we're at right now. He said, compel his people to come in. God's people are the Israelites. All right, God's people are the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives today.
Right.
Give me that Amos chapter 3, verse 1.
Amos chapter 3, verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel.
You hear that? The Lord spoke a word against the children of Israel. That's who you are. You understand? You see that sign right there? What tribe are you from? Where is your father from? Look on the left side. Is your father American black? All right, so you're from the tribe of Judah. All right, so God is speaking to you. Those are the 12 tribes of Israel. Read it again.
Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel.
You hear that? So God is speaking against us. Read.
Against the whole family which I have brought up from the land of Egypt, saying.
So the Lord brought all those 12 tribes. He brought us up from the land of Egypt, saying what?
You only have I known.
God said, you only have I known.
Of all the families of the earth.
All the nations on the planet Earth, God said he only knows the Israelites. Right. All right, that's where you descend from, brother. You're from the tribe of Judah. So now you see self-importance in yourself. Is that being taught in the Christian church? No, it's not. It's not. That's why you go around and you hate your brothers in your heart. That's why there's black on black crime. Read the verse again.
You only have I known of all the families of the earth.
So God said, you children of Israel, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Yes, right. You understand? The white man, God don't know them. The Chinese man, God don't know them like that. Right. God messed with the Israelites. Right. Read it one more time.
You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquity.
You hear that last part? Read it again.
Therefore, I will punish you of all your iniquity.
So as a father chastises his son, so is our God with us. He said, I'm going to punish you for all your iniquity. So you wonder why the jails are filled with brothers that look just like you?
Bring it out.
Huh? You wonder why abortion clinics are filled with people that look just like you? God says, because I'm punishing you for all your iniquities. Is there a law against adultery? Is there a law against adultery? You don't know? Give me that in Exodus. Give me the one in Exodus. I want to teach you why we're in the conditions that we're in today. So we're in the conditions that we're in today because we break God's laws. You understand? Do you know, read that verse.
Exodus chapter 20, verse 14. Thou shalt not commit adultery.
So the Most High said, thou shalt not. That's a law. That's a commandment. He said, thou shalt not do what?
Thou shalt not commit adultery.
He said, thou shalt not commit adultery. So adultery is laws against sexual sins. You understand? So that could fall into homosexuality. That could fall into bestiality. You understand? It could fall into sleeping with a woman on her period. Those are the laws that go into adultery. So read the verse again.
Thou shalt not commit adultery.
And guess what else is adultery? Sleeping with a woman without marrying her.
Right.
Sleeping with a woman without marrying her. Get the one in Exodus 22:16.
Right.
So this law right here falls under adultery. I want to bring this one out to you because it plagues our community. So this is the reason why we're in the abortion clinics. Why? Because we sleep with our women for lust. We're not with them to say, I want to grow old with this woman. You understand? So read that.
Exodus chapter 22, verse 16.
Bring it out.
And if a man entice a maid,
So you're a man. The Bible's talking about you. You're a man. He's talking about all these men out here, all the Israelites.
Right.
He said, if a man entice a maid
that is not betrothed,
that is not betrothed. So the word entice means spit game. You see a sister, you just like, I like that sister. You understand? So you start talking to her, you start enticing her, and he says she's not betrothed, meaning she's not married or promised to another man. Read.
and lie with her,
He said you lie with that woman, meaning what? What does lie with her mean?
Lay up.
Huh?
Lay with it.
If you lay with a sister, what does that mean?
Probably smash.
You had sex with her.
Right.
So he said, and you lie with her.
he shall surely endow her to be his wife.
God said, if you lie with a sister, you shall surely endow her to be your what?
Wife.
Your wife. You understand?
Right.
So have you not had sex with a sister before? You have. Did you marry her? So this is the plight that we're in. That's why there's abortions, because if you have sex with that sister, you can't provide for the child. What are you telling her to do? Go abort the baby. You understand? Is that something positive or negative in our communities? Abortions.
Negative.
It's negative, right? Because now you're killing seed. Imagine if that seed was you. You would have never came into the earth. You understand? So it's hatred for your own kind. It's hatred for your own seed.
That's right.
We don't want to do that. God said you must marry the sister.
Right.
What you got? Go to Deuteronomy 28:15. So I'm going to show you our history out of the Bible. I'm going to show you how we know that you're from the tribe of Judah. Okay?
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15.
All right, so in the book of Deuteronomy is Moses speaking to the Israelites. He's speaking to one nation. He's speaking to us, the 12 tribes that you see right there.
That's right.
Read that.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So Moses told us, he told the 12 tribes, if we don't hearken unto God's voice and do all his commandments, that curses will come upon us and what?
And overtake.
And overtake us. You understand? Meaning they will come upon us and overtake us so we won't be able to get them off of us. Read verse 16.
Verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field.
So he said, one of these curses is in every city that you go to, the Israelites there, they're going to be cursed in that city. You understand? They're going to be on Section 8.
Right.
They're going to be on welfare.
Right.
Food stamps.
Right.
Anything that's detrimental to your community is going to be, it's going to be on top of us. That curse is going to be on us. So read it again.
Right.
Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
Any city you go to with the Israelites is going to be high crime rate.
Right.
You said, because according to the Bible, the word crime is a synonym for sin. Understand that? When you kill your brother, that's a crime. That's a crime in this society that we live in, right? But there's a law against that crime. Thou shalt not commit murder. You understand?
Right.
So that's why we have high crime rates, because we're in sin, we're in transgression against our God.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So read that verse one more time.
Cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field.
And it said, cursed shalt thou be in the field. Can you call in your remembrance through history class? When were our people cursed in the field?
I'm not sure.
Cursed in the field. What were we doing in the field? You see these signs? It said, cursed shalt thou be in the field. When did this happen to us?
It's up here.
Huh?
It's up here.
Yeah, it's right here. When were we cursed in the fields? You can't see these signs?
Bring it up.
What does that look like to you? Remember, this is Moses talking to the 12 tribes of Israel.
Right.
Okay? He's told them, cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. Okay? Who did this happen to? What's your name today? You would call yourself an African American, right? He's telling you that's not what your real name.
Right.
You're an Israelite. This happened to no other nation but us.
Right.
Okay? So Moses was telling this as a future prophecy. It shall come to pass. You're going to be cursed in the field. Were we not cursed in the field in 1619? Were we not picking cotton from sun up to sundown with no pay? Did that not happen to us?
That's right.
Was your forefathers not picking sugar cane? Huh? It did happen. So who are you? If God gave these words to Moses to speak to the Israelites, and this happened to the so-called blacks, who are you?
Israelite.
You're an Israelite.
Yes,
You understand?
Right.
Get 7 and 6.
Bring it out.
Book of Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6.
Bring it out.
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
So your thought process might be, why would God do this to a people that's so special unto him? He said, because you're holy.
Let him know.
You were created with a high standard. You understand?
Right.
You're held to a high standard. So when you don't follow those high standards, when you don't meet those high standards, you get a harsh punishment on you.
Right.
You understand? So read it again.
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
So what's your name again?
Cortez.
Cortez. You are holy. All people that look like you, they're holy people unto God. Read.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people.
It said God have chosen you. God chose you out of all the nations, like we read in Amos 3.
Right.
He chose our nation to be what?
A special people.
A what?
A special people.
A what?
A special people.
A special people. So you wonder why you run the fastest, why you jump the highest,
Right.
why you the smartest in your class.
Right.
God said, because you special.
That's right.
You're special. Read.
Unto himself.
Unto himself. He ain't messing with the other nations like that. Read.
Above all people.
Wait, slow that down. What?
Above all people.
God said he created you, Cortez, the people that look like you, to be above, not equal to. God did not create us to fight for equality.
That's right.
Instead, God created us to be where?
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
You hear that? Read it one more time.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
God created you, Cortez, to be above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Meaning he created you a king. You understand? He created you a prince. Get that Exodus 19 and verse 6.
Bring it out.
He said he created you to be special and above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Teach y'all.
Book of Exodus chapter 19 verse 6. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation.
You hear that? God said, you're going to be unto me a kingdom of priests, a holy nation. This is a covenant he made with our forefathers.
That's right.
Why are we not in that state right now? Because we're in transgression to get the laws he gave to us to be that kingdom.
Right. Right.
You need laws to govern the kingdom, don't you? Yes, you do. But we're not keeping out one of them. We sleep with our sisters. We do these things not knowing that we created to be great. Get Wisdom of Solomon 19 verse 6.
Bring it out.
Because we're going to show you how great you are. You were created to be holy unto the Lord, special unto God. You weren't created to be a nigger. That's what the nations called you. You understand? They called you that to take you away from your true heritage, from your true nationality,
Teach y'all.
and gave you a fake one. All right, so read that.
Book of Wisdom of Solomon chapter 19 verse 6.
Bring it out.
For the whole creature in his proper kind was fashioned again anew,
Yeah, read.
serving the peculiar commandments that were given unto them, that thy children might be kept without hurt.
So he said he gave us these commandments so that our children might be kept without hurt. Go back to 7 and 6.
Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 6.
Bring it out.
Teach.
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
All right, now get 28:68.
Okay.
I want to show you another curse that came upon us for breaking God's laws.
Bring it out.
All
Bring
right?
it out.
The Christian church tell you that God's laws are done away with. So they're steering you away from Christ. We're trying to bring you back to the Most High in Christ. You understand? So you can get your life right. So when destruction comes to America, when destruction comes to this earth, you're going to be saved. That's why we out here. All right? So read that.
Book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
So it said, the Lord shall bring thee into the Egypt again. Are you familiar with what happened with the Israelites, with Moses? Have you seen the movie 10 Commandments?
Bring it out.
All right, well, this might come back to your remembrance. You remember Moses split the sea. You remember that part, right? He split the Red Sea and they walked through on dry land. You don't remember that? Okay. So Egypt got destroyed. We were in captivity like we are right now. God came and delivered his people out of Egypt. He said, you're going to go back into that Egypt, that captivity again. Get Exodus 20 and verse 2.
Exodus chapter 20 verse 2.
Bring it out.
I am the Lord thy God,
Uh-huh.
which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt,
Read.
out of the house of bondage.
So what's synonymous for Egypt? Read it again.
I am the Lord thy God, which I brought thee out of the land of Egypt.
Out of the land of Egypt.
Out of the house of bondage.
So what does Egypt mean? House of bondage. Understand what's bondage? Captivity, slavery.
That's right.
So go back to 68, Deuteronomy 28.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt.
Into bondage, slavery, captivity.
Again.
So he said, you Israelites are going to go back into captivity or slavery again. How?
With ships.
How?
With ships.
With ships. With ships. When did that happen to us?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure?
I'm not familiar with
How do we get in the land you're standing on right now?
Bring it out.
Huh?
ship here.
We got shipped here.
That's right.
Understand? Read it again.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
With what?
With ships.
With ships. Did that not happen to you? It happened to you and everyone that looked like you.
That's right.
But Moses speaking to the Israelites.
Right.
What other nation did that happen to? No one. So you were Israelite. You're chosen. You're special. You were chosen to be above all people. You were chosen to rule, a king, a prince.
Right.
Understand? So why are you in this lower state? Because you're a transgression against your God. Understand? You're a transgression against the Most High. What you got?
By the way,
Okay.
by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
Read.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
So he said exactly how I'm speaking unto you. You will be sold unto your enemies. Did that not happen to us? Sold to Master Charles in Virginia.
Right.
Sold to Master Johnson in South Carolina.
Right.
That happened to us, right?
Right.
Read that part again.
Thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall,
There, when you get off them ships,
ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
you shall be sold to Master Charles in Virginia. You shall be sold unto who?
Your enemies.
Your enemies. So the white man is not our friend, brother. He's not our friend. A friend will not shackle you on chains, put you on a ship, and have you working from sun up to sundown with no pay. That's
right.
not your friend.
Right.
You understand? God called them what?
Your enemies.
Our enemies. You see this? Right here. Sold. Wait. Oh no, that's not it. Where's the
That's it right there. Hey, that's Ishmael and Esau.
Okay. So what we're gonna go over that Joel 3. We're gonna show you what happened with us. Alright, so you heard of Africans selling Africans, right? That's not true according to the Bible.
That's right.
According to the Bibles, Africans sold Israelites. Alright? We have a similar skin complexion, but our seed, our bloodline is different. Alright?
Joel chapter 3 verse 3.
Bring it out.
And they have cast lots for my people,
So God's people are the Israelites,
and have given a boy for an harlot.
and have given a boy into a harlot, meaning they made us breeders. They
Right.
put us on sex plantations. They just had us there sleeping with our sisters.
Right.
To birth bigger and stronger slaves. Can you read
And
it?
sold a girl for wine,
And sold a girl for wine, meaning they raped our sisters for wine. Can you read it?
that they might drink.
Come on.
Yea, and what have you to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon?
So Tyre and Zidon are two African nations, two Hamitic nations. All right, so it said, what have you to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon?
And all the coast of Palestine.
The Palestinians are the Arabs today. Can you read it?
And, I'm sorry, will ye render me a recompense? And if you recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your
So
own?
what God is saying, the Africans and Arabs came together and gathered the children of Israel. That's how we got trapped on the west coast of Africa. We were running. We were fugitives. You understand? Can you read it?
Swiftly and speedily will I return your recompense upon your own head.
So God said, if you mad that I ain't choose you to be my nation? He said, you trying to pay me back for not choosing you? He said, okay, you take my children into slavery, I'm gonna pay you back. That's what our God said. Can you read it?
Because ye have taken my silver and my gold.
So they went into our temples, took our silver and gold in Jerusalem. You understand? They entered into our gates in 70 AD. Can you read it?
And have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things.
And they took them into their temples, their little groves. Can you read it?
The children also of Judah
The children of Judah
and the children of Jerusalem
and the children of Jerusalem. You understand? All the 12 tribes did what?
have you sold unto the Grecians.
Have you sold unto the who?
Grecians.
The Grecians. I'm sorry, not all the 12 tribes. The Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. That's who they took. They rounded up the so-called Haitians, the so-called Black Americans, and the so-called Jamaicans, and sold us into who?
Oh, the Grecians.
And sold us into the Grecians. So you see that? The Africans and Arabs sold the children of Judah into the Grecians.
Right.
Understand? It was not Africans selling Africans.
That's right.
That's right.
They were selling God's chosen people as a payback. They were mad at God for not choosing them.
That's right.
So God said, you do that, I'm gonna give that payback back to you. Get that in Revelations 13. God said, this is out of Christ's mouth. So you've been taught that Christ looked like this guy right here. You see him? That's not Christ. That's a man called Caesar Borgia. He's a son of Pope Alexander VI of Rome. He painted his son to be the new Christ.
Tell me, what are we bringing out to you so far? What have you learned? And you said the Bible that you did read was fake. What Bible?
I read the original Bible, the ones they hand out in churches.
Yeah, now some of the churches have King James. Some of the churches have King James Version Bible. So the Bible isn't fake. The pastors are fake. Okay, so they was teaching you wrong. So now, what's your nationality? I'm gonna see if you gathered what my brother was bringing out. What's your nationality?
Israelite.
You're Israelite, right? What tribe?
What to do with that?
This is Judah. That's what we thought. He didn't have to look at the sign. That's how I know he's got it.
Right.
Now, who sold us? Or was it only them?
The Grecians.
The Grecians are the so-called white man. Edomites is what they call in the Bible. That's their name, Esau. There's the Arabs that sold us, the Chinese, Japanese, Indians.
Right.
All of them sold us.
Right.
But America is inside of a bubble. Oh, there's some of us still over in slavery right now, over there in Africa, over in India. Okay, we're still in slavery. But I want to show you something. I gave you my book just to show you some history with the books I have. All right, so listen. What that map I had you holding? Give me that. I want you to point. So Toby, yeah, hold that for me. I want you to point for me real quick. All right. Where from this continent right here did we come? Did we get snatched from? Where from there? Show me. Point. Take a wild guess. You said from over there? All right, that's one place. Now, you know what's funny about that? It says, they say Najir nowadays. That says nigga. That's the name of that right there. But the prophets inside the Bible will call, give me that real quick, Acts 13. The prophets inside the Bible will actually call what you would say today, nigga.
Bring it out.
They word. All it just means is black.
That's
Don't
right.
get offended.
That's right.
All it means is black. Read that for me real quick.
Acts chapter 13, verse 1. Now there were in the church that was in Antioch
So in a church in Antioch, go ahead.
certain prophets and teachers,
So certain prophets and teachers, read.
as Barnabas and Simeon, that was called nigger.
They were called what?
Nigger.
So that was what the prophets were called. It was a nickname. It just means black.
Right.
That's all it means. Now, point on this this continent right here. Where did we come from? Outside of here. So where else? Because you're right. Give me some more. Give me some more. You say Egypt? There's a remnant. There's a remnant. But we fled from Egypt up towards Israel, and that's where we dwelt at. But then we had to run from here. Let me show you some history real quick. I want you to give me this book. So now, this is Babylon to Timbuktu. This is Babylon to Timbuktu. I want you to listen real good to what's about to be brought out here. Because the question is, usually it's the Africans sold other Africans. My brother, he brought it out excellently, that it was actually Africans selling Israelites.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Read what you got here about Ham.
Bring it out. This is the Sullivan Compact Bible Dictionary.
Now, do you know about the sons of Noah? All right. You heard about the flood? Okay.
You talking about Noah's Ark?
Noah's Ark, right. He had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth.
Right.
All right. Now, this is one of his sons, because from them came nations of people, right? You following me? I don't want to lose your attention now. Read this, because I'm about to show you something heavy. I just need you to bear with me for a second. I'm leading up to it.
Ham, the youngest son of Noah.
So this is the youngest son of Noah. This is after the flood. All right, pay attention real quick.
Born probably about 96 years before the flood.
Read.
And one of 8 persons to live through the flood.
So he lived through the flood, read.
He became the progenitor.
Now, do you know what the word progenitor means? It means forefather, right? He became the forefather, the ancestor, read.
Of the dark races.
Now, if I was to pause there, would you associate that with you? He became the forefather of the dark people. Would you associate that with you? You wouldn't? You sure? He became the forefather of dark people. That's not us? I did that on purpose. I led you there. But watch what it says.
Not the Negroes.
But he's not the forefather of the Negroes. But who?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Come on.
But the Egyptians.
So that's real Africans, right? He became the forefather of real Africans. So it's making a difference between dark people. Just because it's dark don't mean they're Negro.
Right.
Okay, so it said real Africans is who he became the forefather of. Egyptians,
Ethiopians,
the Ethiopians, Libyans,
and Canaanites.
and the Canaanites. All real African nations, but not us.
Right.
So when we ran into Africa, further into Africa, because this is where we were, right? We was here. This is where Jerusalem is. This is where Israel is. We had to run from there and go all the way towards the west coast of Africa, right? You with me? All right, we had to run towards the west coast of Africa. This is what the historic scholars has said about that. I want you to read that. You already know what I want.
Bring it out. Bring it out. This is Babylon the Timbuktu.
So listen real good. You will not learn this inside your colleges. You won't learn this at church. You won't learn this at all anywhere else. This is who we are. Watch this.
Page 84.
Read.
In the year 65 BC, the Roman armies under General Pompeii captured Jerusalem in 70 AD.
So watch what I'm doing now. In the year, I want to see if you heard it. The year what?
70 AD.
All right, so in the year 70 AD, we had to run from Jerusalem, right? Put your finger right there. I'm gonna lead it. I want you to feel what I'm talking about. Put your finger right there. All right, so we had to run from here, right? From General Pompeii, we had to run from there. Now lead it all the way over here. We had to run all the way over there. Read.
In 70 AD.
So in 70 AD, we had to run from here over to the west coast of Africa, right? Go ahead.
General Vespasian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state.
So he put an end to the Jewish state. He said, kill them, besiege the city, and they have to run, they have to flee, because Christ had gave us that warning in Luke. Read.
With great slaughter. During the period of military governors of Palestine.
Read.
Many outrages and atrocities were committed against the residue of the people.
So they had sisters eating their own babies, people eating their own selves, a lot of cannibalism going on. We ran low on food. So a lot of stuff went, it was crazy out there. It was crazy. Right. And y'all mentions it inside the Bible. Deuteronomy 28, the book that he was just bringing out to you earlier. Go ahead.
During the people from Pompeii to Julius.
During the period.
During the period from Pompeii to Julius.
So there was a time period. During the period from Pompeii to Julius, right? Read this.
It has been estimated.
So this is an estimate. So an estimate is roughly a guess, right? Like you learned it in math class. It's a rough guess. So when we fled from here, I'm making a link. We fled from here all the way to the west coast of Africa. And it gave you a period. It says during the period from Pompeii to Julius, it's been a rough estimate of what?
There are over 1 million.
Over 1 million Jews
fled into Africa.
So over 1 million Jews fled into Africa, right? Over 1 million Jews. Watch what it says about those Jews. And we came from over this side, right? West coast of Africa. Is that where we were snatched from? Are you sure?
Bring it out!
Yeah, we fled all the way. We were snatched from the, watch this.
Fleeing from the Roman persecution and slavery.
Read.
The slave market was...
Now, was our ancestors in the slave markets? Where that picture at? I just had you holding it. It's right behind you. Put that down real quick. All right, look at this. The slave markets, correct? That's what you're seeing? Slave markets. It says, what about it? Oh, yeah, and it's also right here. Northern Kingdom 2. Oh, Northern Kingdom 2. Southern Kingdom, Northern Kingdom, the slave markets. Read.
The slave markets were full.
So the slave markets were full. Read.
Of black Jewish slaves.
It was full of black Jewish slaves. Black Jewish slaves.
Right.
Not African Americans or just regular black people. It was full of black Jewish slaves. You got what I'm saying right here?
The issue. Tell them about the issue.
Yeah, the issue. So they're linking it with ish only because ish just means like somewhat. Like if I say I was coming into your house around 5-ish, you don't expect I'm gonna be there at 5. You expect somewhere in 5 o'clock. But this is the real Jews that came. Hold that. Hold that real quick. I don't want you to go nowhere. Go to page 121. Stay with me. What I'm bringing out here is how we got to the west coast of Africa, and then who was snatched from the west coast of Africa. Give me that other sign one more time.
Bring it out!
Give me that other sign one more time. I need the, where's Ghana at? There it is, right there. All right, you see Ghana, right? That's Ghana. That's the west coast of Africa. Watch what this say right here. Yep.
It is the conclusion.
So this is the end. This is the conclusion. Read.
It is the conclusion of some scholars that when the Jewish kingdom of Ghana fell.
Now, when the Jewish kingdom of Ghana fell, right? Now, the Jews, we fled into Ghana. Hold that real quick. Don't finish it. Go to Psalms, let me see, 106 verse 37.
What is that?
106 verse, I want to say it's 37. Stay with me. Don't go nowhere. 106, 37. Let me see where it's at. They sacrifice their sons. No, 35.
Psalm chapter 106 verse 35. But were mingled among the heathen.
So we were mingled among the heathen. When we left from our land and fled in towards where the real Africans were, right? We learned their works. And now over here we start to say that we're Afrocentric. We're Egyptologists or whatever the case is. Starting to do the little dances like they doing, whatever the case is, right?
That's right.
But there was more to it. Read on.
And learned their works.
And learned their works.
And they served their idols.
And we served their idols.
Which were a snare unto them.
And there was a snare to us. Why? Because it's not our God.
That's right.
It has nothing to do with us in our history at all.
Right.
So, when the Ghana Jewish kingdom of Ghana fell, right? Read that one more time.
In the conclusion of some scholars that when the Jewish kingdom of Ghana fell.
So point to Ghana. I just showed you. Point to Ghana. Boom. When the Jewish kingdom of Ghana fell, when we fled there, right? Read.
Many of the Hebrew tribes.
Read.
Established settlement among the African tribes throughout Central and Western Africa.
So where'd you point at first? The very first country that you pointed to? Boom. It said around Central and Western Africa. That's where we were. The Hebrews. Right? Now go to page 130. Hold on. I got one more for you. Hold on one sec. It was in Central and West Africa, right? 133. Read that right there.
As the historical evidence indicates.
So now it's evidence, right? It indicates this one thing. It points at this one thing.
The black Hebrews were snatched.
The black Hebrews were snatched from where?
From the west coast of Africa and sold into captivity.
So we were snatched from the west coast of Africa and sold into captivity. That's what it's talking about us. So now that we know that, it links us towards Deuteronomy the 28th chapter. Go back to that real quick for me now. You can drop that. All of this is done.
All right, bring it out.
Go back to Deuteronomy 28 verse 68.
Verse 68.
Now, tell me who this is talking about. Read that.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
So it said he will bring you into slavery again. Israel, you're going back into slavery again. How?
With ships.
Who's that? That was us. That gives more clarity. The waters are rising now. It gives more clarity as to who we are.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
We're not still in the same land that our ancestors picked cotton.
Bring it out.
Are we still here? We're still here.
That's right.
We have not seen our homeland still.
Right.
We're still learning after the other nations' idols and their false ways, their philosophies.
Right.
But now it's time to come back to our true God. Because what was the reason that we got brought into slavery in the first place? He brought it out earlier. I want to see if you got it. Why?
I remember.
You remember? Verse 15.
Verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So if you don't listen to what God says, right?
To observe to do all his commandments.
And you don't do what he says to do. Where do you find what he says to do at? Where do you find what God tells us to do? Where do you find that at? What book? Yeah, the commandments, but what book? See, that's why I asked the question. Bible. You find what God says to do in the Bible, not the Quran or the Gilgamesh epics, none of that. You find God's words and commandments and his prophets in the Bible.
That's right.
Read.
And his statutes, which I command thee this day.
So if you don't do none of his commandments or what's inside this book, right? Watch the link, because I brought all that out for a reason. If you don't do what this book tells you to do, read.
That all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Verse 68 one more time.
Verse 68.
Read.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
So you'll go back into slavery again.
With ships.
Who that happened to? Happened to us. We're still here. The Bible says if we don't do his commandments, this where we are right now is going to happen to us.
That's right.
Do you see the real link? This is real history and the Bible is bringing it out. So what do we have to do now? If we broke the commandments and we're here in this country now because we broke it, what do we have to do to go back to where we came from? We start following the commandments.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.